All right, let's dive in here and talk dangerous, right? Who doesn't like the little bit of danger? So my question on the golf side was, how do I lower my handicap? How do I go to that next level, right? So when I think of dangerous players, I'm thinking of players that are really into the game, really starting to train and work hard. For me, the best way to start understanding what I need to work on, I always say it's very, very simple. How many greens do you hit? And then how many of those are inside of 20 feet, which are birdie opportunity? And when I miss the green, how often do I hit it within 6 feet and 12 feet? If I can understand those 4 stats, it gives me a really good understanding of where my strengths and weaknesses are. So think of it this way. If I hit 12 greens and half of those are inside of 20 feet and I make no birdies, it just means I'm not putting well enough. My opportunities are there. I just don't putt well enough. Or if I hit 12 greens and I miss 18 holes, right? And only one of those shots are within 6 feet, means I'm gonna make a lot of bogeys because I'm not gonna convert a lot of putts outside of 6 feet. So I think having these 4 basic, how many greens did I hit? How many within 20 feet? How often do I hit within 6 feet? How often do I hit it within 12 feet when I chip? I mean, that to me gives you all the information you need to do. So if you start tracking those 4 simple stats on your own and start to really evaluate and ask questions, I think your path moving forward becomes really, really simple. So again, for me, as a dangerous golfer, to become better, to move my handicap better, is I'm going to try to move my handicap 1 shot at a time. So if I'm averaging 80, my next goal is to be 79, 78. So I'm going to try to figure out what can I do, what low-hanging fruit can I attack, and start to move that piece down. The higher number I shoot, the faster I can move. The lower I shoot, the harder it is to move. Once again, so understanding that component. So once you kind of understand where my strengths and weaknesses are, now we can go train and attack that piece. Most golfers, I love you all, but you train terribly. They go out to the range, they hit maybe their entire bag, work through it however they work through it. What did they learn today? Well, what they learned is they can work all the way through their entire bag. So I don't like that as a training session. I would much rather you pull out 1 or 2 clubs and try to hit certain shots, treat it like a golf round, you know, kind of visualize what the golf course would look like, hit certain shots at different pins, take a little off, add a little bit. To me, that would be good training. Most golfers, like I said, don't do that. So again, kind of understanding the components of what it takes for good training. And again, on the range, holding up fingers. So for a dangerous golfer, we're gonna be probably looking at about 3-finger dispersion left and right of the hole. That means if I grab a wedge, you know, and I hold up 3 fingers, that's gonna put me at about 9%. Which at 100, let's say 100 yards, 9% is going to be about 27 feet left or right of the hole. That's actually a pretty good shot for the caliber player I am right now. So training, how often do I hit it within certain finger dispersions? You can go to golfcast.com. There's a finger dispersions video series in there with Rob Fales. Really good stuff. That would be a really good way to start peeling some of this back. But to me, it's starting to understand what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses. Let's address the weaknesses, maintain the strengths, and let's train to get better. All I can tell you is if you want to get better in golf, you just got to put in the work.